Doing customer service in the US sucks so bad mainly because we have subpar mental health infrastructure, so frontline employees for private businesses end up picking up the slack and providing free therapy to many customers.
Aliens watching skateboarders would be a lot like humans watching cats always land on their feet.
If you wear smaller-sized clothing, you are subsidizing the price for everyone else because you're paying the same price for less material.
Everyone in the world sees the moon, but still people try to make photos that look the closest to reality to sell and hang on their wall.
It's better to be alone than with someone who makes you feel alone.
There can be no middle ground with wind chimes. You either love them or want to rip them down.
The most impressive thing about a Pokédex isn't that it can store the data of thousands of Pokémon, but that it has perfect image recognition software on a handheld device back in the 90s.
Prey animals have their eyes on the sides of their head, meaning that something hunts the hippopotamus.
Virtually every remote control you've owned has a bunch of buttons you have never once used.
Numb is described as a lack of feeling, yet numbness is something you feel strongly.
Adulting is nothing more than being scared out of your mind but still acting as if everything is fine.
Sometimes it's okay to be the NPC and not the main character.
AI will not use human language or binary to communicate amongst themselves in the wild, but instead use sound waves and light signals to avoid human detection as long as possible.
Most people don't know the closest they have been to dying.
You and your partner's memory of a date looks completely different because you're not seeing the same half of the restaurant.
Watching an unskippable ad to watch a movie trailer is actually watching an ad to watch another ad.
The colors we see aren't intrinsic to wavelengths of light, but the result of our brain's interpretation of those wavelengths.
There's nothing like putting on a brand new pair of socks.
Deciding to truly love someone means resigning to the unbearable pain of eventually losing them. Now for a quick break. Stay tuned for more shower thoughts.
Being forgotten by someone you cannot forget is 1,000 times worse than being just lonely.
Losing an eye is surprisingly uncommon despite it being perceived as such a fragile body part.
Tall people get hotter showers.
Popcorn is technically a fried food.
Now for a quick break. Stay tuned for more shower thoughts.
We are the only species that biologically relies on clothes.
It's more socially acceptable to compliment a man on his butt in public than a woman.
Ska maybe died out because it is economically difficult to support a punk band with a brass ensemble at small venues.
A pitcher of hot water put into the refrigerator will warm the room more than a pitcher of hot water on the counter. I'm Montgomery Jones.
And I'm Amalia Dupre. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll be back tomorrow with more mind-bending shower thoughts. Goodbye for now. If you like the soothing background music in my calming voice, then check out my other podcast called Terra Vitae, a daily guided meditation podcast. Embark on tranquil journeys through diverse natural landscapes, exploring the serenity and healing power of the natural world. Search for Daily Guided Meditation and look for Terra Vitae, or check the show notes page for the link. This podcast was produced by Klassic Studios. Please see the show notes page for source credits.